Welcome to Calves Studios. I'm Chris. Did you know that the best time to foam roll is after a workout? Research over the last few years has shown that foam rolling after your workout can reduce soreness and improve mobility. I personally feel the difference when I foam roll my quads and then stretch following a good exercise session. Here is a wonderful post-workout roll and stretch routine that will leave you feeling at the top of your game. So let's get started. We're going to begin with the calf muscles, back of the lower leg. Go ahead and extend your right leg onto the roller, and then cross your left leg over the right ankle. So a couple ways you can roll. One is to use your upper body to lift yourself off the floor, and then just glide yourself forward and back from the ankle all the way up right below the back of the knee. Now, if it's too challenging to lift your upper body or your arms are too tired from your workout, then just bend and straighten that knee, and you can rotate the ankle as you bend and straighten. And that helps get into any of those trigger points or tender spots that need to get loosened up. Then you're going to turn the leg to the left, and the same thing, you're going to bend and straighten, or you can lift your body off the floor and just rotate or slide your body forward and back with the arms, and try to rotate the ankle at the same time. That'll help get in there. If you're just bending and straightening, that works too. You might have to scoot yourself forward to get up a little higher onto the leg, as well as the back of the leg. Then we're going to turn the leg to the right and lift those hips and glide your body again with the leg tilted to the right, and rotate that ankle, getting along the whole length. And if you find a spot that's a little sensitive, just let your hips rest on the floor, let your leg on that spot rest on the roller, and rotate the ankle. Same thing with bending and straightening. Just get a little rotation in there, and then also move your body forward or move that roller up the calf to get the upper outside right edge of that right calf. And rotating the ankle. Then you're going to move that roller down, back down to the lower part of that leg, and you're going to switch. So now you're putting the left leg on the roller, right leg on top, and you're going to do a little bend and straighten. And just notice the difference. Maybe you lift yourself up and you glide yourself forward and back. Try rotating the ankle. If you find a spot, just pause on it, rotate the ankle both directions. Or you have that hip rest on the floor of the glutes and just rotate. Now you're going to turn your left leg over to the right just slightly so you go on the inside edge. Again, bending and straightening, or let's lift those hips, give it a try, and roll to the top and the bottom. So you have a couple options there. Maybe you have wrist issues, you want to go onto your knuckles. You can also go onto your elbows if it's too much to lift yourself up. So it can be, you can change your positioning to make it work for you. Then we're going to turn the leg to the left. Again, bending and straightening, rotating the ankle, the lower part of the leg, and the upper part of that calf, or lift those hips and roll yourself to the ankle and all the way back up to the knee. And you might notice a difference between both legs. Then you're going to place the legs down, the hips down, the glutes down, and then take those feet off of the roller, place the roller to the side. So after you foam roll that area, we want to make sure we stretch it out. So you're going to bring the hands to the floor, come to tabletop, So you have a couple options here. One, just press one of the feet back into the back of your mat, tucking those toes under, just feeling that stretch. You can also lift the hips to get a little deeper stretch. And you can even walk your hips up even higher and get a deeper stretch. Maybe taking one of the feet and cross it over the ankle, and then rotate your hips. And then try the other foot. So if you're on your hands and knees, just straighten out that leg, get a nice stretch there in that calf, over the ankle, through the back of the ankle into the heel. Or lift your hips higher, cross the other foot on top of the ankle, and just give a little rotation through those hips. That helps with all the attachments down into the ankle and keeping that mobility in the joint. Then you're going to lower the knees back to the floor. So while we're here, we're going to move to the front of that lower leg, and we're going to go into the shins. So if you've ever had shin splints, this can be a little tender, and this is a great preventative. So you want to find the bone on the shin and make sure you stay to the outside edge of the bone, because otherwise it can be very uncomfortable. So again, on hands and knees, you're going to bring, let's start with the right. So bring your right shin, the middle of the shin, onto the roller. Both hands out in front. Tilt your hips slightly to the right and extend your left leg to the back of the mat. Straight so it can hold you up. And then just glide that right knee forward and back. But you're still, remember, leaning slightly to the right. So you are getting into that shin on the outside edge of the bone. Add an ankle rotation and see if you can find any areas that are a little tender. Ankle rotation all the way up, all the way down. Try the ankle both ways. Now, if you would like a little more intensity, you can also cross the left ankle over the right, stacking those legs, and then pull both legs in and out. It's also great for the core. Pull those knees in and out, rotating the ankle. One more. Now we're going to switch sides. So now you place the left one leg on the roller, tilt your hips to the left, extend your right leg back, and pull that knee in and out. And rotate the ankle. Other options, stack those feet or the legs and roll in and out. Again, rotating that ankle. Great way to loosen things up. One more. Great. Now we're going to take the knees to the floor, come off of the roller, and then turn your roller longwise. We're going to sit on the end of the roller, and you can have your legs, feet flat on the floor, knees bent. So once you're up on the roller, take one of your feet, doesn't matter because we're going to do both, and you're going to tuck it back underneath behind you. So the top of your foot is on the floor right next to the roller and the knee is bent. And you can hold on to the roller and just start to lean back and then keep the top of your foot pressed into the roller, to the floor. Your hands are on the roller and lift the knee just slightly. So you're feeling that stretch through the shin and the bottom of the foot. If you want to go further back, you can put your hands on the floor and lean back into it. Just feel that nice stretch through the shin and the ankle, and then you're going to release, come back up, bring that foot flat on the floor, lean into it so you stretch the opposite way, and then you're going to take the other foot down. So tuck that opposite leg underneath, hands on the roller, leaning back, and notice the shin if there's a difference. On this side, maybe your hands go to the floor. Lift the knee up enough that you can start to feel that stretch in the shin and the ankle. And then release. Bring that foot up, foot flat on the floor, lean into it, stretch out those ankles. So we're going to come off of our roller and just bring that roller across your mat in front of you. You're going to transition to an elbow plank with the roller across the quads. So we're going into foam rolling those quadriceps, the upper thighs. So drop down to your elbows, palms on the floor, and that roller, make adjustments so the roller is right above your knees. And we're going to start out by walking the feet and knees as close together as we can. Relax the feet, and we're just going to draw our body backwards and walk the elbows back at the same time. So the roller slowly moves up the thighs. Then you're going to walk your elbows forward and move that roller slowly up your thighs. And notice that the feet probably come a little bit apart and separate. That's okay. Again, walking those elbows back. Nice and slowly noticing what's going on in the thighs, and then again walk it forward. Now once you get back to the front where you started, the roller's above the knees, and notice where your feet are. Maybe they slid apart because it's a little more comfortable. I want you to walk the feet and knees back together. Do a slight little hip tilt to the right. So more of the weight of your body is on the front outer edge of your right leg. You still have the left on the roller. Cross your left ankle over your right ankle if that feels okay, and then walk those elbows backwards again. So you're still getting both legs, but the majority of the right leg, front edge, outer edge is getting it, and then walk the elbows forward. Till you get back to the top of the kneecaps, not going over the joint. Uncross your left ankle, realign the legs, bring them back together. Tilt your body slightly to the left, cross your right ankle over the left, and then start to slide your body backwards. Again, most of the weight is on the left leg now, still some on the right because there's support there. Once you get to the top of the hip, or top of the leg, and you can't go any higher, then you're going to walk yourself forward. Using those arms, once you get down to the knee again, we'll uncross the ankles, and this time we're going to place the toes on the floor, and we're going to bring the legs nice and wide. We're going to bring the feet together by bending the knees, and still knees are wide, and then rock and roll your body backwards again. So different angle for those thighs to as high as you can comfortably go, and then glide yourself forward again. So this can be a little tender. Let's do that one more time. Walk the elbows backwards, walk them forward, and at any time you need a break, feel free. Good, now we're going to release, bring those legs all the way together. Try to squeeze the legs together the whole time as you glide your body backwards one last time. To the top of the thighs as high as you can go, and then walk the elbows forward towards the knees, keeping those legs close together. And then last time, glide your body backwards so the roller goes up the thighs. When you get to the top, we're going to slide off of the back of the roller. Go and set the roller to the side. Now we're going to lay onto our belly so we can stretch out those quads. So you're going to lower yourself all the way down. Go ahead and bring your right hand under your chin, reach back and grab hold of your left foot, top of your foot. If you can't reach your foot, grab a strap or a belt and pull that foot towards the glute. If it still doesn't bend and you can't quite reach your foot, please lay on your right side and pull that left leg behind you so you can get the stretch all the way through that hip flexor. Trying to maybe bring those knees together and just find that nice stretch. So stretching the quads, so important. Not only from working out, but if you're sitting a lot at a desk or in a car a lot, making sure we keep that mobility in our joints of the knees and the hips. And when our quads are tight, that happens. It gets less mobility. So then we're going to switch legs. So bring your left hand under your chin, bend your right knee, bring the heel towards the glute, maybe walking the knees closer together, and find your breath. Good. Inhale and exhale. Foam rolling after a workout and then stretching does help lessen long-term, like the soreness that you might get from working out. So that's always a good thing. Now, if you can't reach your foot, again, same thing. Lay on your left side, bring your right leg behind you, push your hip up. Now we're going to release the foot, and let's bring the hands next to the rib cage and use your arms to press yourself up. And here we're going to just do a quick child's pose or resting pose, knees apart, feet together, just to stretch out the back, because sometimes the back gets tight from doing that quad stretch. And it's also good just to stretch out the back after you work out. One more breath. And then walk yourself up. We're going to bring that roller back across in front of us, and now we're going to switch to glute. So sit up on top of your roller. Your right glute is on the roller. Lean towards the right. Bring your right hand on the floor behind you, and your knees are bent, feet are flat. And use your feet and your bent knees to draw your body forward so the roller goes to the top of the glute, and then push yourself back so the roller goes to the bottom of the glute. Rolling that entire right butt cheek forward and back. Notice if you have any trigger points, any tender spots. One more roll, and we're going to go a little deeper now into that glute. So pull your right ankle up and place it across your left thigh. Open up that right knee, and again, draw the roller to the top and the bottom of that glute. Maybe pull that knee in a little closer to the chest wall and roll some more. Get all the way down into the sits bones. If you find a tender spot, pause on it and pull that knee up and down. And you can even move the knee up and down as you glide to the top of the glute and to the bottom. One more time. And release that leg. Let's transition to the other side. So now we're on the left glute. Feet are on the floor, arm behind you, leaning to the left. Roll to the top of the glute and to the bottom. Using those legs. Notice the difference on this side. Are there any spots that jump out at you? Like, oh, there's a tender spot. You can always move that leg. If it's too much, you move past it. If your wrist is tired, you can go to your knuckles. If you need to go to your elbow, you can. Or use a yoga block to support your arm and lift it up higher. Now we're going to lift that left leg up, cross your left ankle over the right thigh, open up that left knee, and roll again. Just noticing the difference in that glute as we change position of the leg. It's all connected and attached through those fascial lines, the fascia tissue, ligaments and tendons, muscles. It all works together. Now pull that left knee in closer and roll to the top and the bottom again. If you find a spot, just move that knee up and down. When we loosen the tissue or let go of some of those knots in the glutes, it does help our hips move better. Also helps our low back if our hips are out of alignment, and then we can get them back into alignment or moving them a little better by loosening up the glute. One more. Now we're going to uncross that leg and we're going to sit in front of the roller on the floor and go ahead and straighten out both legs. Just give them a little shake here. Now we're going to pull the right knee in. We're going to hug it into the chest. Now if you would like a deeper stretch, an option is to take your left leg and tuck it underneath your right. And you can pull your right knee in towards the shin or even across the thigh. And just give it a squeeze. So hug your right knee with your left arm and lengthen through the spine and maybe even twist to the right. So you're getting a nice stretch through the hip, the glute, finding your breath, lengthening through the spine. Never forcing any stretch, but you want it to feel really good. Now very slowly we're going to let go of the leg and just rotate the opposite way. So we're doing a counter stretch. You're going to just twist to the left. Bring your right elbow on the inside of the right knee. You might feel a little stretch if your legs both are bent in the left hip. You might. Everyone's a little different. Now we're going to let go of that leg, unwind, uncross the legs, straighten them out, give them a little shake. Notice the difference. Maybe you feel a little blood flow into that leg. So another option, bend your left knee, pull the foot across. If you want a deeper stretch, tuck your right foot underneath that left thigh and then pull that left knee in and give it a squeeze. If the legs don't go that way and you can't get your left foot on the floor, just keep the right leg straight. That is totally fine. But you're hugging it in anyways. Either way, hug that left knee in with the right arm, twist to the left, lengthen through the spine, feel that stretch through the glute and the hip. Finding your back lengthened. Now we're going to counter stretch, so you're going to release, bring that left elbow on the inside of the left knee, reach back. Again, find your breath. And then we're releasing. Unwind those legs, uncross them, straighten them out, and give them a shake. Now we're moving to upper back. So to go to upper back, you're going to lean back, find the shoulder blades, and always protect your neck by bringing your fingertips behind the ears. Open the elbows wide and let your head rest in your hands as you start to feel your body relaxing onto the roller, your head melting towards the floor, hips are still on the floor. Find your breath and just notice what's going on. You don't want it to like catch your breath or feel painful. Now you're going to press through your feet. We're going to lift those hips to roll the upper back and roll to the top of the shoulder blades. Elbows stay open and then towards the bottom of the shoulder blades, avoiding the low back, and then back to the top and to the bottom again a couple times, making sure you can breathe comfortably. You might get a natural chiropractic adjustment here. Now if you want to get a little deeper into the muscles along the spine, pull the elbows in towards your forehead, tuck your chin slightly, and then roll again. Finding your breath. Two more times. Roll to the top, to the bottom, and one more time. Top and the bottom of the shoulder blades. And then lower, find the middle of your shoulder blades, lowering your hips back down to the floor. Open up your elbows. So now here, we're going to transition to the shoulders. So we want to get into the back of the shoulders, maybe a little into the armpits. If you're missing lymph nodes, then don't turn as far into those areas when we go to the sides. So walk your feet in a little closer to your body and bring yourself closer to the top of your shoulder blades. So we're going to transition here, working the shoulders. You're going to lift your hips. Now I want you to gently start to tilt your body and roll to one side. I'm rolling to my left. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both. One elbow to the sky, one elbow pushing down towards the roller, and then gently roll yourself back onto the roller straight, and then turn to the other side. And if it's too intense as you turn, keep your hips on the floor. So you can always keep your hips down and then just rotate your body side to side, very, very slowly. So you're going right into the back of the shoulder. You can even go all the way into the armpit, dropping the knees to the side. In that case, you would lower your hips to the floor, and then you can come back up, lift the hips, or keep them down, and then roll to the other side. Go all the way into the armpit. Maybe you drop your knees and keep your hips up. That works too. And then come all the way back up onto the feet and continue another time back to the first side. You can drop your knees to the floor, go into the armpit. Notice the difference on the two sides. If you have one side that's way more sensitive, then maybe lower your hips and do a few rocks back and forth so your chest goes forward and back towards and away from that roller. Maybe that's what you need, or going all the way into the armpit. You can also go all the way into that chest wall. And then try the other side, nice and slow. Maybe that's the side that maybe you want to stop on both sides and do a little rock and roll on each side. That is totally fine. Just noticing the difference. And then give me one more time, rolling to each shoulder. Right into the armpit. And then roll back onto the upper back, shoulder blade area. Last time into the other shoulder. And then all the way into the upper back. And lower those hips to the floor if they are there. Then you're going to bring your hands and your forearms to the roller, and then slowly lift yourself up. And then a couple shoulder rolls. Now we want to stretch out the area that we just rolled. So bring that roller right in front of you, and then come to tabletop. Couple options. Now separate your knees, bring your feet together so you can comfortably slide your hips to your heels. Place your left hand out in front of you on the roller, and then take your right hand and you're going to slide it palm side up underneath your left arm, and try to lower your shoulder towards the floor. Now if you need to lift your hips up, that's totally fine. If this is super challenging, an option, a variation, is to bring your right arm over the top of the roller, or have the palm up and have your shoulder on the roller, and then you just make sure you're holding onto your head. All right, so we're going to just pause and rest here for a moment. Wiggle those right fingers. Notice the stretch in that right shoulder, back in the back of it. And then very slowly start to lift up, release. Bring your right hand onto that roller. We're going to change sides. So take the left hand, palm up, slide it underneath that right arm to go to the shoulder. And again, same thing on this side. Maybe you just place the roller close to your body and place your shoulder on it. Maybe even your head if you need a variation. If it's really tight and hard to get, your mobility is a little restricted in the hips or the knees, feel free. Find some fun variations that what works for you. If you are holding on to the roller and your shoulders on the floor, maybe try to extend that roller a little further out. Make sure you wiggle your left fingers. Find your breath. And then we're going to lift the head and then roll that roller back towards us. Go ahead and have a seat. And we're going to transition now from shoulders. We're going to go to neck. So we're going to roll the upper neck and the head area. So we're going to bring that roller back behind us. And a lot of times we get some neck strain. It gets really tight up in there. So we want to loosen things up. So lay your head back on the roller like it's a pillow. Getting nice and comfy. We're going to have the knees bent, feet flat on the floor so we can support the low back. So with your head on the floor, we're going to do a couple different areas. First thing we're going to do is you're going to tilt your head to, tilt it to the side, just one side. I'm tilting mine to the left. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both. And I want you to push the roller higher up onto the head. So basically the roller's right behind your ear on the occipital bone. And then you can hold the roller if you feel like it's going to roll away. And just do a gentle nod yes with your head. And no. Yes and no. Massaging that area. So your head is not, you're not on your side or anything like that. And you're not on the vertebrae. We don't want to roll the cervical vertebrae. Just keeping your hips and your back on the floor. Then you're going to take your head, lift it slightly so it's still tilted to the side. You're going to bring the roller lower. So now it's touching the muscles on the back of the neck, right behind that and below that occipital bone. The roller's still back there. So now you might feel like a little bit of the bottom of the ear. And just again, nod yes and no. This is getting into your sternocleidomastoid, the back of it, the edge of it. It comes right up there behind the ear there. So a nod yes and no. You might find some trigger points. This helps reduce or, a little preventative towards tension headaches. Of course, keeping stress out of your life helps as well. And keeping, if you get tight tension headaches, maybe get massages more often. Take care of yourself. Now we're going to go to the other side. So what I want you to do is release, lift your head, bring the roller a little higher up as you rotate your head to the opposite side and bring the roller behind the ear so it's on the occipital bone. Again, not touching the muscles in the neck, just the bony part behind the ear, and then just a nod yes. And a nod no. Yes and no. And you might find that one side's a little tender. Now I want you to lift your head slightly, bring the roller a little lower. So now you're getting into that muscle right below the back of the ear there. A little nod yes and a little nod no. Notice how tight it is. If you've got a trigger point there, loosening things up. Make adjustments if you need to. Then you're going to take the roller, hands at the end of the roller, and you're going to bring the roller to the middle of your head. But while you're doing that, you're going to lift your chin slightly so you can look up towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. So it's right in the back of the head. So if you turn your head to the side, the roller is above your ear. And then nod yes when you turn to the side. And no. So you're getting right above the ear there. And then roll across the center to the other side. A little nod yes and no. We have fascia tissue in our head as well. And then roll back and forth very slowly across the back of your head. And gently. You want this to feel good. And then back to center. Let your chin gently drift towards your chest. Get a little neck stretch. And with your chin tilted, now gently roll your head to one side. little stretch to the opposite back side of the neck. And then slowly let your head rotate to the other side, stretching the back opposite side of the neck. And then back into the center. Now you're going to hug your knees into the chest. Now you are welcome to either roll to your side to push yourself up or just roll yourself all the way up. Now we're going to move that roller longwise. So sitting up, turn the roller longwise and have it right behind you. So from here, we're going to stretch out the front of the body because everything that we rolled, we want to add another stretch and get it all balanced out. So you're going to sit up on the roller. Make sure you're towards the end of the roller. So scoot yourself towards the end of the roller so there's lots of space behind you. Feet are flat and they're going to stay flat on the floor, and you are going to keep your knees bent. Then you're going to gently walk your hands back and lower yourself slowly onto the roller. And again, making sure that when you go back, your head is completely supported on that roller. Hands next to your body. Feet flat, maybe bring them in a little closer together to the roller so you can find that balance and feel your spine along the roller. And just relax for a moment. Now we're going to stretch and open up the front of the body and also loosen up those shoulders a little more. So take your right arm, I want you to reach it over your head to the back, and take your left hand and reach it toward your feet. And take a breath in, feel the stretch, and then exhale, switch hands. And good, take a breath in, and then exhale, switch hands. And then do that one more time. Inhale. And then exhale, switch. One more each. And then inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and bring both hands up to the sky. Palms face each other. Then you're going to let your hands drift open out to the sides. Now we did roll the upper back. We didn't get into the chest too much. It's a little challenging to roll on the roller. I prefer using a tennis ball to get in there. But this is just a great way to stretch it out as well. And if you hold the stretch for quite a while, at least 30 seconds, then you're going to get a little hydration in that tissue, in that fascia tissue, and you might get a little relief and improve your mobility a bit. And this also helps with posture. If it's challenging to get your head on the roller, then hopefully you've put a pillow or something there. You're not straining your neck. You want to just relax here. Relax on that roller. Feel the chest opening up. Maybe it's starting to relax more and you're feeling a little less tension in that chest wall. Now, if this is challenging, then just stay here. If you would like to add a little variety, keep the backs of your hands on the floor or as close to the floor as you can and start to bend your elbows. So your hands are kind of sliding upward and a little closer to your body. And maybe your hands can't stay on the floor, that's fine. And just find your breath, feel that stretch. Might get a little more intense, feeling it through where the bicep and the shoulder connect here. Just feel things opening up, walk the shoulders again away from the ears, feel the shoulder blades wrapping around the roller. Just a nice little bit of self-care here after you've worked out and you've foam rolled everything. Opening up that heart space. Slowly now we're going to start to, whether your hands are straight out to the side or elbows are bent, we're going to start to reach our hands overhead to the back. Really stretching it out. Feel it all the way into the belly. Notice if you start to arch your back, maybe as you breathe in, feel the belly expanding towards the roller. And then slowly release the hands all the way back down next to the body. We're going to slide off, lift your head and slide off the side of the roller. And just bring that roller behind us and find a nice tall seat. Crossing the legs. If you would like, you can sit on the roller or the floor. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Notice the posture. Notice where the ears are. Are they over the shoulders? Shoulders over hips. Pull those shoulders down. Lengthen through the spine. So now it's complete. You've foam rolled all the major areas of the body, and we've stretched them all out, and hopefully you feel a little invigorated and relaxed at the same time. Take a deep breath in, inhale the arms up, exhale palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.